My dear, it's Thursday, June 18. My goodness, I want to talk a little bit about the World Cup that's happening here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, and we talked about it before. And I'm not really into it that much. Once in a while, with my wife, I watch a game here and there, and there are four games a day, and some of them start at 11 o'clock in the evening, and we don't know who's what, and I mean the tournament is falling on its weight. There's so many teams, over 100, and so many games, and it's just a money-making soccer capitalist project that billions of dollars that are revenue and beside what all the all the shenanigans happening and denying visa and turning a Somali referee, the best referee in Africa, away, and sending an Iranian player because he was celebrating with, his hand is gone. People celebrate with a machine gun. This guy was just pointing to the fan after he scored, and he was just sent home. And the actual people who had committed genocide and killing thousands of people and invading and millions of people that people are participating in the tournament. But an Iranian guy kind of, and even with the peace ceasefire and peace treaty and all of that, the spirit of that, it's just an amazing, an amazing hypocrisy and. Usually a country have those tournament, Olympics or World Cup to showcase what's good about their country. Even they cover up all the bad things. I remember when we have somebody visiting our city or routine, we just put trees and paint the pavement and clean the streets and dress nice and the ugly people and all people just put them away and showcase what's good about our country. But here we are showcase what is bad about our country: racism, inequality, ticketing, thin thousands. And but anyway, it's still another 5 weeks to go, or 4 weeks, with 1 week already. And sometimes there are good story there. The fans coming from Scotland and the fan coming from a Mexican fan and a Bosnian fan cheering for the Palestinians and the Scotch Dams, Scotch fans are going with their pipes and playing music with their traditional costume and picnic, and people stop at a bar testing street food and hot dogs and burgers, and these are real American, and meeting people in the South and finding out that the American people are real people. They are nice, welcoming, hard workers, and they're welcoming. Even the Iranian team are really surprised on how welcoming people are, and they want to talk to them, they want to see them. So this is happening in spite of this village idiots and what his lunatics trying to portray. Uh, and also, I want to talk a little bit about, when you watch the game. I know in general, there's a lot of statistics about the game now. Soccer. I mean, it's like you are in a baseball game, whatever. How many passes and how many goals scored in the last 50 years, and ranking number one and ranking number this, and how many minutes possessions, and how many this and how many that. So many uh, uh, stats about the game and how much money that player costs and how much money is, like they talk about a player like a cattle, they're just, $200 million. What is it gotta be worth it? It's just a mentality of how they look at the game. It's all about money, it's all about stats, and all about who's ahead, who's first, and who how much history and how many ranking and how many scores, the ranking of how whatever. It's all about things has nothing to do with the game. The game is very simple, just pass or kick or whatever. Creativity, things he cannot measure. This is the wonderful things about the game. It cannot be measured. The cleverness of passing and movement without the ball. This all things stats missed out on it. And and I think this is the culture of capitalism. Everything, you cannot value anything without measurement. It has to have a measurement of some sort so you can value it. This is just kind of information for the simple mind. They cannot think of themselves and appreciate or evaluate on their own how they feel, what they think, critical analysis. But when you throw stats at them, it's the end of the discussion. It's the end of thinking. It's the end of just sad. This guy scored 50 goals. So what? Today he didn't score anything. So it has nothing to do with how many you score and how many steps you make and how much you possess the ball and how many corner you look at the game and the subtlety of it, the things that stats cannot present and bring. And that's a problem when you see the British or the American broadcasters. It's all about stats and all about hypes and all. It's like you're watching, you know, all still wrestling. It's not a soccer game or a football game. Screaming in their voices like a college students uh, shouting match. But I watch the game when I really get serious about it. I watch it in the Spanish, and I don't understand most of it or all of it, to be honest. But the excitement about the broadcaster, it really reflects the game more, the stats that the British or the American broadcaster give. It's all about stats here and stats there. But anyway, with all the stats that they give you and smother you about this, you feel like you are on an auction with something, that all these players are going to be sold here and going there, and how much they're going to be value after this tournament. And it's just bizarre life we live in, time we live in. But here is other states you would never hear it in the World Cup in general or the World Cup of 2026. 44 8 448 Palestinian football players were killed during the Israeli genocide in Gaza. You're never going to hear that stats on that World Cup games. 166 Iranian schoolgirls were killed in an American attack on a school in Iran. That's out of question. Ticket price is reached about $10,000 a piece. Of course, you're not going to hear that. Hotel rooms cost up to 4,000 a day, night. FIFA, the non-profit organization, the revenue will be, up to $17 billion dollars. 30-second ad cost about 200,000, and if you are in when the games gets closer and knockout, and that will be almost $1 million for 30 seconds, and that's why they have water break in the game for the first time. I mean, the weather is in the 70s and raining, and they still have water breaks each half. For 3 minutes, they stop the game. Not really for the welfare of the player. The player can go and grab a bottle of water, and they have tons of water around the field and or on the pitch. And there's no problem, never had a problem. The problem in the stand where they prevent people from bringing water that they have to sell. They have to buy a bottle of water for $10 or something. That's a stats you never hear either. And you can go and drink anytime as a player. I mean, as long as you are in the field and somebody hand you drink, you just throw the bottle away in the side, the pace line, and that's the end of it. But now they have to take 3 minutes And people start complaining. Some teams are doing very well, dominating the game, and excitement, and then they take 3 minutes break, and then the other team will come back and change that narrative. And the reason for taking 3 minutes break in the World War Cup 26 is money. It's a capitalist project. So how many ads you can throw in those 3 minutes? So Fox making tons of money during those. So you're talking about almost 500,000 for 30 seconds, $500,000. So 3 minutes, that's a lot of revenue. And that's what the president of FIFA, the most corrupt human being I've ever seen, and it's from Switzerland. What do you expect? When money laundering, trade, and billions of dollars, got it from Qatar, and kind of this guy gotta go. This guy allow Americans to do this to the soccer players and to the tournaments, and denying visa to players and fans, and turning a referee amazing tournament, and still still really becoming from a beautiful event, a global event where people come from all over the world to showcase their culture, fun, and style of play, and uh, and get a chance for a smaller underdog country playing giant rich and have a chance to beat them. Former colonies can play against their colonies and against their giant rich state and beat them. And it was innocent, fair game. Now it is a business. It is money making. It is bazaar. It is really killing the game. It's just becoming like anything else, a video game controlled by technology, not having really not trusting the player to do their things and play, and now you look at the referee, it's like an alien coming out of outer space, and so much technology, camera and this and that, and I don't know how you can run a game when you have all this equipment on your heads and your eyes, and you're just a simple game. Just go there and do your best, and call here and there at the end of the game. It's all balance itself out. See, but killing the spontaneity and zeroing in about 500 camera on each and on the players, and you can any touch, you kind of if you zero in on somebody, some player, you're gonna find something wrong. Somebody steps on somebody. It's like going to the dentist. He's gonna it's just looking at your mouth and check in with a magnifier until you find a cavity of some sort. That's the same thing. He frantically looking at every play and stopping every play for offside, for a score, and you can't celebrate anymore because you're gonna go to VAR, and they killing the excitement, like ecstasy. Goals. Somebody goals. They say goals. It's the orgasm of the game. You pay and pass, and a lot of time goes by before anything happen, and then you score. That's the orgasm of the game, the excitement, the ecstasy. And then now you have to go to VAR and find out somebody's have a 13, 14 size shoes, was tip of his shoes offside, or has a big butt, his butt was offside, or he has an erection, and his erection, his penis was offside, and it's just a bizarre. It's not a game anymore. It's it's kind of an event controlled by technology, capitalist, money, and corruption. And sadly, this is what's happening, and that's why I don't really watch the game that much, and I'm not interested in it. I don't follow. I usually watch and follow and analyze and all of that, but this is a shameful tournament, a tournament that it's reaching its peak and it's gonna collapse on its own weight. You're talking about over 100 games within 4 or 5 weeks with an exclusive elites match. Games, a tournament that comes every 4 years. I know the idea of opening it up for a smaller country have a chance. That's the argument they make. They have a chance to come on a global stage, but that's not how you do it. Do it that you kind of help a small country and support their sport programs and stop exploiting those countries, stop bombing those countries, stop invading those countries, stop stealing resources from this country. Let them rise up and develop their own sport and have their own tournament. But having that many players, 8 groups, 4 in each group. That's I don't know how many teams in that tournament. Really, I lost track of it. All I know that Italy didn't even make it, and so that's all the rant I have today. And please subscribe, help become a member of Substack, Ahmedia TV. And we need your support and we need your help to keep this ranting going. I think I've said enough. I'll see you next week.